Let's have a look at a very interesting story captured by Citizen. The story is going to inform the basis of our analysis right now. DP Gachagua now seeks Kenya shillings 1.12 billion to renovate his office current residence. The office of the Deputy President is now seeking Kenya shillings 1.12 billion to enable renovations at both his Harambee Annex office and current residence. In the proposals contained in the 2024-2025 budget estimates, the Office of the Deputy President defended the intended expenditure, saying the offices were old and dilapidated. Speaking when he appeared before the National Assembly Committee on Administration and National Security, Patrick Mwangi, an officer from the DP's office, sought to be allowed to spend Kenya shillings 460.4 million to renovate the Harambee Annex offices and another Kenya shillings 660 million to refurbish the current residence. In a vote that caught the Narok West MP Gabriel Tongoyo-led committee by surprise, with members wondering why the DP wanted such huge amounts of money for renovations amidst calls to reduce expenditure by public officers. Please tell us more about the renovations of the said offices, because we have seen an allocation of shillings 300.4 million. I know we have a few issues there, like lifts not working, but this figure is too big, yet the building is not even 10 years old, stated Tongoyo. However, Mwangi defended the intended expenditure, saying the building had been neglected for long. The continuous lack of maintenance has necessitated a facelift targeting major functional areas and security systems of the building, he explained. Yes. So Rigath's office is seeking 1.12 billion Kenya shillings to renovate his Harambee Annex office and to renovate his current residence. We all know that the current residence was just built recently, and I think William Ruto was the first deputy president to use that office, if I'm not wrong. So it's still a new house. I want us to dig deep into this, considering the fact that Ruto's government is always saying things are tight. Anytime Kenyans are crying out against the high taxation, William Ruto is saying that he must tax Kenyans for the government to operate, that things are tight. Before we dig deep into this, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe in order not to miss our next analysis. Let's proceed. Ruto's government is running mad. It's a government on a spend spree, where top government officials are trying to outdo one another on who is spending more than the other. We know that currently, State House Nairobi is being renovated at a tune of over 1 billion Kenya shillings. And we are now seeing Rigathi Gachagua. He also wants to outdo William Ruto, as if they are competing. If William Ruto spends 1 billion, Rigathi also wants to spend 1 billion. As this is happening, William Ruto's government is taxing Kenyans heavily and borrowing heavily. As they tax Kenyans heavily and borrow heavily, they are also spending massively. So there is no savings. they are taxing Kenyans, but instead of development, that money ends up being spent recklessly. And I'm bringing the aspect of saving because just yesterday, William Ruto hinted that he wants to increase the VAT tax from, I think, 16% to about 22%. And as he was making those remarks, he insinuated that the money they are borrowing from the West, those are savings from those countries they are borrowing from. If you look on how William Ruto's government is spending, it's clear this is a government that will save nothing. William Ruto is very good when it comes to speaking, to giving promises. Let's remind ourselves of this promise Ruto made last year.
Na mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, serikali ya Kenya hakuna hata tax moja tumeongeza. Na hakuna hata tax itaongezwa. Mtaona katika budget yetu ya mwezi wa sita tutakuwa tunapunguza taxes.
When it comes to speaking and giving promises, William Ruto can literally bring the heavens to earth. Very good, very convincing. But when it comes now to implementation, he does the opposite. And by now, honestly, I don't think any sane Kenyan should be taking William Ruto or his government seriously. If he says north, be rest assured he means the south. I think in the about 2 years he has been in office, that has come out very clearly. Ruto always talks the opposite, and that exposes him as a very dishonest leader who cannot be trusted. And just as I've been saying in this forum, that brings us to the issue of chapter 6 of our constitution. Is William Ruto fit holding a public office? The answer is a very big no. This is a leader who has proved to be a liar, a leader who cannot be relied upon. So if Kenyans do want to get good leaders, they should look at the issue of integrity. If a leader is known to be lying, that leader will still lie. Ruto's track record has been clouded with lots of lies and propaganda, and is not going to stop anytime soon. In fact, he is going to use more propaganda and more lies to maintain and to sustain his rule. My humble request to Kenyans, let's save our country before it's late. And one sure way of saving our country before it's late is to reject all leaders supporting William Ruto. Let the ground be very hostile to them politically, to a point they will not even think of marketing or campaigning for William Ruto. And I'm saying that because if you look at William Ruto's strategy, his strategy is to bring as many members of parliament as possible to his team. These members of parliament across the country are the ones who are going to do William Ruto's bidding. He goes to Nyanza, Western Coast, everywhere. He buys some members of parliament. Then he gives them the sole mandate of doing his campaigns on the ground. Let us first reject those leaders. They are not there to serve Kenyans, but they are there to serve their own interests and William Ruto's interests. As I talk, there is the Finance Bill 2024 coming. These members who have crossed over to William Ruto's team, they are the ones who are going to help William Ruto in passing that Finance Bill 2024. Already Kenyans are overtaxed, but William Ruto intends on bringing more taxes on Kenyans. And these leaders supporting him, who pretend that they care about the people anytime they're in their constituencies, those are the ones who are going to help him in passing that bill. So if Kenyans are truly tired of a William Ruto's regime, they should start by rejecting any leader or leaders who are supporting his government. And when I talk about that, I specifically mean these leaders who were in the opposition but crossed over to the government side. And their excuse is always that we are going there for development. There is no development they are getting from William Ruto. It's just a plot by William Ruto to maintain and to sustain his rule. And to those leaders who are in Kenya Kwanza, the electorates should also do the needful. There are so many good leaders who can actually serve. The ones in Kenya Kwanza have proved that they are the worst leaders since this country got independence. We've just seen a few days ago, they saved Mythical Inturi from a possible impeachment. While it's very clear that Mythika's ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture, sold fake fertilizer to Kenyans, in fact stones. Kenya Kwanza members of parliament went ahead and saved that kind of a person. Which country is this, ladies and gentlemen? Before it's late, let's save ourselves by first rejecting any leader or leaders supporting William Ruto. After doing that, it will be very easy to send William Ruto home come 2027, because it's clear this is not a government, but this is a cartel whose only mandate and intention is to enrich themselves as they oppress Kenyans economically. They have a plan of making Kenyans poor and poorer so that Kenyans can be begging them for help. That's what these leaders are trying to do. Let me stop it there. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.